When he did the press conference, he was very professional about it. There were all these questions that reporters had about how things were done and what kind of evidence they had, and he's like, we can't discuss it right now. We know that he did it. We have proof. We've got a great case that we're building, but I can't talk about it right now because it will affect the case.
Right, exactly.
That man, that bald man with his furrowed eyebrows, he's just really got it going on.
Got it going on.
You got it going on.
Well, a lot of people have
Get it, girl.
the daddy fantasies and stuff like that, so if he looked like Santa Claus, I guess he could maybe be in there. What was his name?
Bruce McArthur.
I would maybe be like, nah, he's probably not going to murder me if I get in a car with him. Which he wouldn't, because obviously he has an MO, but...
No, he just looks like the kind of guy that's like, do you need me to bring you to a train station? Are you hungry? Do you want a sandwich on the way?
Yeah.
But the sandwich is filled with murder.
The sandwich is filled with murder.
I think that the thing about Bruce McArthur that bothers me so much is I think about me as a person. I'm gay, and it kind of makes me feel the same way that I feel when I hear about Jeffrey Dahmer. He would go to Boys Town and he would pick people up. And I'm like, you know what? Like, just, you fucking meet the wrong person and you're their flavor. That's why it's so scary, because I don't think a lot of these people probably were nervous either.
I bet not.
That one fucking and yeah, you're right, it goes for anybody. Have you ever texted one of your friends before you went on a date and been like, this is who I'm going out with, this is their number, this is where we're going in case I end up dead?
No, because honestly, I actually just live life in a really dumb way.
I didn't do it all the time.
I want to hear how it actually evolves, because I guarantee that both stories, at least there's going to be an appeal from the family. Maybe we should kind of cover it again, because I feel so interested in what's actually happening, especially since it's happening right now.
Yeah, I would very much like it if you could tell me a story.
Who tells stories anymore, really?
Canadian Nightmare Tale.
Oh, man.
The Maple Leaf Special.
Right. And obviously, we both are on the same weird wavelength. So the Grand Theatre is in London, in Ontario, Canada. It was started by Ambrose Small as the Grand Opera House. Obviously, they only changed the last two words. It was 1901 when it was built.
Oh, okay.
So they had it as an opera house, but they didn't have opera in there most of the time. One of the stories is that Ambrose had actually written his own play, and that the audience reacted so angrily to it that he stopped producing his own written material and started producing other people's. So it kind of started to be a vaudevillian / burlesque / traveling show sort of place.
Okay.
Which aided in the fact that he apparently had truly loved all the young ingenues that had come through. He was a known womanizer, and he was a giant cheapskate. He hated people that were poor. He had actually, before he had bought...
Wait, he was a cheapskate?
He is a cheapskate. Crazy cheapskate.
But he hated people that were poor.
Correct.
Okay.
So he had a ton of money, and that's when he had gone into doing this theater. His wife, she had her own wealth.
Uh-huh.
And they had got married. At the time, it wasn't a great thing. He was Protestant, and she was a Catholic. He was a millionaire in 1901 money.
Yeah.
And his wife also had a bunch of money in 1901 money. So it wasn't like he was just marrying some, like, street rat human. Even his wife had said that he wouldn't have given away 10 cents unless he was given 20 cents back. He wouldn't even give anyone money unless he was definitely getting a return of at least double.
Yeah.
He was a super successful theater entrepreneur in this particular area, but it's been said that he stepped on a ton of necks while getting to his position.
As you do.
Yeah, but you could do it in a better way than what was said about him.
Maybe you step on the necks with slippers instead of stilettos.
Right, which my assumption is that he actually probably stepped on people's necks with golf shoes. Because a New York producer even branded him as a damned liar and a damned thief. He would take your money, he would lie to you for it.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. If it benefited him, he would just go with it.
Yeah, it was all about him. It wasn't,
right.
No regard for anybody else.
No one else. He actually had a chain of theaters, apparently in the Toronto one, which is not the one that we're currently talking about. That was also called the Grand Opera House. There was a secret passageway that he may or may not, but it's a rumor. It's a rumor. I know, I'm really excited about it and I want to go and I want to like
fucking
find all the
love
hidden
secret
spaces.
passageways.
I know, I want a house full of them. He would take young ingenues to bless their opening night.
He would take them to
a secret passage in a wall.
That sounds murdery.
Right. He, as far as anything that I've seen, he hasn't murdered anyone, but we'll get in that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was certainly getting into something.
Well, he was trying.
Not just a secret passage, if you know what I mean.
So, apparently all of his theaters kind of had, like, little secret entrances. In the one that we're currently talking about, the one in London, one of the ghost hunters that I had read said that he wasn't sure whether or not he was up or down. He just knew that he was behind the stage somewhere. He wasn't actually sure where he was in the building.
So it's very easy to get lost.
It's really easy to get lost in almost every theater that I think I've ever been in. For whatever reason, he decided, after going out to lunch with his wife, after went and had a couple cheers drinks with the people that he was selling it to, having a deposit of about $1 million. In our particular time period, it is somewhere around $25,073,251. And then disappeared forever. And this was in Toronto.
Did he sell both of the theaters?
See, and that's where it gets a little bit wonky, because there's a couple different ones that are like he sold every theater that he had. And there's a couple ones that said that he sold every theater but the one in London. With that being said, he disappeared. So there's a couple different thoughts on how he had, I guess, disappeared. A lot of people think he was murdered.
Well, that's like where my brain went, was
right.
Foul play, or just he knew that he wanted to disappear?
Right. But that's the thing, is there was nothing that was actually taken out of his bank accounts. Nothing in either of his offices in the Grand, the London, or the Toronto were disturbed. And his wife didn't do anything except for donate what she would have gotten from insurance.
Did she go missing too?
No.
Oh, okay.
She donated what she got from insurance, like a pretty large sum of it, to the Catholic Church. And that made her become a suspect. But he, once again, he was Protestant, and that's where it started becoming a problem. So a lot of people thought it was her. And there's a couple people that say that she confessed later that she killed him, and then she brought him back to the London Grand to put him in one of the boilers that was obviously heating it at the time. There was a paperboy that had supposedly seen someone cramming someone into something near the London Grand.
She was the main suspect, like the primary
She was the main suspect. She's the one that keeps coming back. And
Do you think she did it, though?
I don't know. He was kind of a bastard.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, maybe she found out that he was taking all of them ingenues to the secret tunnels.
Right, and there's actually a female dressing room that was really close to his office. There's a rumor he had drilled small peepholes to look into.
That's fucking rude.
I mean, it's real rude. A night watchman in London, Ontario, had said that he had seen him walk in about an hour after the deal was done. Now, in today, like if I were to get in a car and drive from Toronto, because I couldn't figure it out, like I'm not hugely into the geography of...
I wouldn't know how long it takes to get from that, one area to the other, yeah.
Right. It would take about 2 hours via the expressway in today to get from Toronto to London.
And the guard said he saw him an hour after the deal went down?
Right. So in 1912, somehow he managed to do something that is... He would have had to hop on a private jet to get there by the time in today.
So, do you think he was mistaken?
No, he up until his death was very confident. He saw him walk up into his office, and then he got the report that he was missing. It's like over and over again he said he saw that. There's, like I said, the paperboy that said that he saw Teresa, his wife, stuff him into the grate that led to the boilers. There's a couple people that say the same thing, but it wasn't Teresa, it was a man.
And, I mean, obviously he was there at the deal. He had to do the business, right?
Right.
Was he there?
No, he was totally there. The next day, one of the stagehands reported a pungent fume coming from the chimneys, which kind of validates the thought process of someone shoving him into the boilers to burn him. So he would have been going up the chimney chutes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, wait, did that not make sense?
It makes sense now, because at first I was like, did they put him in the chimney chute, or did they put him in the boiler?
Funnily enough, there are 3 different stories on that. So 2 of them say into the chimney chute, one says into the boiler, one says into a grate on the street that leads to both of them.
Well, that just sounds great.
I hate you. The police had actually checked the furnace after several weeks, because it kind of took them a little bit to be like, hey, this might have come to some foul play because people hate this man. And they checked, they found no human remains. They still haven't to this day found any human remains. They actually had the investigation of his disappearance open since 1912 until 1960s.
Oh.
By the 1940s, his spirit supposedly walked the stage after every opening night. He would be seen walking across the catwalks during rehearsals, which he often did as he was alive. There's a couple different things that kind of happen that I'm not sure, once again, it's paranormal, so you can't be sure unless you've had the experience yourself. Beatrice Lilly saw him beckon her in 1927 from down the stairs from her dressing room. At this point in time, obviously, he was gone for 15 years. Orlo Miller had said that she had walked towards the spirit and a chandelier had crashed on the stage. The thing about this is that the Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney had come out before then, and that's obviously a prominent plot point. So in 1956, she had also claimed that another actress had seen a man staring at the feet of the stairway to her dressing room. After being shown a photo, the actress had confirmed that it was Ambrose Small.
Oh, damn, okay.
And from there, she, I guess, had denied later that had happened, because obviously people don't love it when celebrities are into ghosts all the time. In 1960, apparently Gore Vidal's visit to a small planet, the actor on stage had seen that there was a seat in the 4th row that had flipped down to accommodate a guest during the performance, and then moments later it flipped back up.
Oh.
His name was Don Flexter. He is quoted to say, "Now you can tell me that the seat just fell down, but you can't tell me it fell up again."
Mm-hmm.
In 1957, Jay Campbell and a friend watched a figure climb a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
He said it really didn't look like a person, but from the waist up, it had the form of a person. It had an aura about it. It's like, and both of them had seen it, and both of them were very far across the stage, apparently, from each other.
Yeah.
In the 70s, it had enough activity that people had done 2 seances. One of the mediums had said that even though they weren't able to contact Small himself, that the spirits in the area had said that the answer to his disappearance was inside of the west wall. In 1977, it was renovated, and the west wall was the only one that wasn't touched at all.
Okay.
I mean, it's a medium. You can't guarantee this. A lot of people run in there and say a lot of different things. Some people have said that he's been missing for about 25 years, and that he's now gone to the Avon Theater because he just didn't feel like it, I guess, anymore. But there's still people that are going there. The show I had watched was in 2015, and they had gotten a lot from this. There's a room off of an alley that had supposedly led to a secret office where he would, quote-unquote, woo every starlet and or ingenue. Hidden doors above and below the stage. There was a brick. While renovated, they actually had renovated from the middle of the street, and apparently from the church that used to be across the street and or may still be there. Once again, a little bit sketchy on that. I also don't live there, so I can't just visually see. They had found bodies that were buried from a graveyard, underneath the theater, which maybe no one knew were there.
Wow. Hey, what's up with people finding bodies when they're renovating? What were they doing out of the cemetery?
Well, no, because ground shifts. It's fine. And also, it could have been on a layer that they didn't know about.
No, you keep your bodies on that side of the street.
We still lose bodies constantly in Chicago.